Greetings, this is Dr. Willie Jolly, and I want to welcome you to my new Willie Jolly Wealthy Ways podcast series. We have been overwhelmed with the responses that people have shared from listening to these messages on my SiriusXM show over the years. Those listeners, and they're sharing my show with their network, telling people about it, telling their family members, their friends, and their coworkers about this show and the impact it's having on their lives. That's the main reason that this show is now #1 for self-help in America, and I'm very grateful. Yet, we realize that many people do not have satellite radio and therefore could not experience for themselves the message. They could not get it for themselves. So we are now sharing these messages with everyone via this new podcast. Enjoy it and share it with your network. And let's help even more people to do more, be more, and achieve more. Tell everybody so that they can live a Wealthy Ways life as well. Welcome to the new Willie Jolly Wealthy Ways podcast. And remember, your best is yet to come.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolly.
Motivated, I'm never gonna stop. I had a job I really hated. It made me sick, but it got me motivated. I knew that this was not where I was meant to be. I didn't want to stay, but I was too afraid to leave. Then one day I stopped. My friends said I was crazy when I told them all goodbye. But the only one who's crazy is the one who's afraid to try. They said I'd never make it, said I would not survive. But I knew I had to make it. It was either do or die. So I grabbed hold of my dream and I put it in my heart. I stepped out on my faith and learned to really trust in God. Knew I had to fight with all my power. The things that happen. Oh yeah, gonna take it to the top. I said I'm never gonna stop. I found a dreams do come true. If you believe in you. Don't worry about what others say. If you're serious, you'll make a way. Hey.
Hannibal said, if you cannot find a way, then make a way. See, it doesn't matter what happens around you or what happens to you. It only matters what happens in you. When people stomp on your dreams, don't get mad, don't get even, get ahead. Because massive success is the best revenge.
So when people laugh at you and they try to put you down, take that negative and turn it all around. Grab hold of your dreams, let it set your soul on fire. Activate your faith and take it higher, higher.
I'm motivated, highly motivated. I'm excited about the opportunity to share some ideas to get motivated in your life, motivation in your life, inspiration in your life. Let me tell you what motivation is. Motivation deals with your head, and you got to be motivated. But inspiration is another powerful piece because it deals with your heart. It helps you to overcome those challenges. It breathes new life into your potential and possibilities. So you got to get motivated, get inspired. You know, my friend Jean Carn, the great jazz singer, when I had her on the show, she said that you've got to believe that you can do incredible things, that you got to believe that it's possible. And she said that as a jazz singer who struggled for many years to get her name and her music out in the world, she said she had to keep believing. Even when others doubted her, she kept believing. And she has continued to do incredible things. Jim Cathcart, many of you know him as the author of the Acorn Principle. He said, if you spend 1 hour studying your chosen field, you'll be a national expert in less than 5 years. He said, what kind of seed is in you? Because whatever is in you and you nurture will grow. Oh, my man, Chris Perriman, who is the father of the great young actress on the Disney Channel, Raven. He was the one who encouraged her to live her dream. He said, you got to have a dream. Act as if. Act if you want to be wealthy. You must act if you're wealthy. And if you think like a poor person, you will act like one. But if you think like you're wealthy, you'll start to do great things. Wintley Phipps was on not long ago, and he is one of the great singers. His videos on YouTube is the highest rated, highest watched, inspirational video of all time. He said that you must not compromise to be recognized. Don't have to compromise. You have to have a goal and start a dream about your possibilities. And yeah, he said you got to have a job, you got to have a career, you got to have a hustle. So you have multiple streams of income. And Stephen Roberts, as I told you about his brother, Michael Roberts, Stephen, when he was on the show, said, action means you go beyond your fears and do the things that are necessary, and you must take some risks. So we're very excited about all these people. We had Lloyd Price, the great singer, Mr. Personality, Walk with Personality. He was on the show, and he said, each step you make, you get to see more and look for more entrepreneurial opportunities. And he said that even in his 70s, he's still an entrepreneur. So today we got another great entrepreneur on. I am so excited about having this young man on, and I am excited that he's the first guest on my show here on Sirius XM. Now, for XM for the last 4 years, but now this is the first of Sirius XM. You know his name. Let me tell you how you know him. He's an entrepreneur's entrepreneur, an industry pioneer. He's regarded as a marketing expert, a genius who will come up with ideas to help you grow your brand if you've got an organization. He has created a lifelong iconic stature in the clothing industry. He is also a author, a business consultant, a speaker, an incredible speaker. He has vision. He's helped create a company that we all know, particularly those in the urban market, called FUBU. For us, by us. You see him now every week on ABC television, on the Shark Tank, the one and only Daymond John. Daymond, how are you?
Wow. I'm great after that intro.
Well,
wow.
man, I'm excited about having you here. My friends at Greenleaf Publishing, when I was at the Book Expo last year, promoting my book with them, they said, have you met Daymond yet? I said, no, I haven't. They said, you've got to have him on your show. He is off the chain. I said, let me see his book and stuff. And I was so impressed. Well, glad to have you, man. You are iconic, man. You started a clothing empire. And let me tell you, I'll let you tell your story, Daymond. I was going to tell your story, but you tell your story. You started by living in a house with your mother, and you took a loan out on that house to live your dream. Tell us the story.
Well, I was fortunate enough to grow up in New York City during a time when this new music called hip hop was kind of coming out of the Bronx, and it kind of moved its way into Queens. And as a kid, I really didn't get to see many people in my community who were doing well or people that we would love to support. And the reason why I realized that I didn't see it, because the hard-working blue-collar man and woman, they get up at 6 in the morning, they go to work, and they come home at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and they take care of their business.
Mm.
And the people you normally see hanging out with all the money were the drug dealers and everybody else, because you know what? They maybe would have a run for a year or two. You would see them for a little while with the big cars. They'd be gone. Somebody would replace them.
Right.
And that was the ones that everybody wanted to emulate instead of the regular hard-working man and woman who were taking care of their family, their kids, and their home.
Mm.
So there started to become these new guys that I started seeing. This one guy's name was Russell Simmons, was driving around the neighborhood with these nice cars, and he was flying to Europe and flying to Russia and Asia. And he started to put his brothers on, and those are Run DMC, and then this other guy, LL Cool J. So we started to see that there was another way to make money, and it was not, illegal, and these guys were having fun, and they were traveling the world. So we started to buy into the world of hip-hop. And, I couldn't rap or I couldn't sing or dance. Well, I could, but not that you would pay me for it.
Right, okay.
And, we created a brand of clothes called FUBU, which were for, the community of rap, hip-hop, inner city, and we started selling the clothes. And people started to really take on to the clothes. And that's the short story, but then when we got to the business side where you really had to start, instead of just having an idea, put this into reality, we had to start finding funding. And I couldn't get funding. And I actually got turned down by 27 banks, and I didn't even know that there were 27 banks in the world.
Wow. You got turned down by 27 banks, but you didn't give up.
I didn't give up, and this is a real entrepreneur. A real entrepreneur just has desire. There's no such thing as luck. It's just preparation and opportunity meet desire. You create your own fortune. And my mother and I had a house. I started working at 10 years old. I haven't stopped since. Always contributed towards this house, and I took out a $100,000 mortgage on the house. and we moved sewing machines into the house, and we took all the furniture, took it out to the backyard. We didn't want to pay for it to get taken away and carted, so we just burned it all.
Wow.
And me and I brought 3 of my other guys into the business, and they joined, and then I had a mastermind team of people who wanted to accomplish the same goal, who weren't hating, who all understood their position and played their position, and we sat there and sewed the clothes in the daytime with like 10 other seamstresses. We hired them, and we would sleep next to the sewing machines and sleeping bags at night. And
Wow.
we did that for 2-3 years.
Wow. Now, there are a couple things in there, folks. He dropped some pearls. I want to make sure y'all got them. One thing he said. One, he took the mortgage out. He was willing to do that and take a risk. But he had a mastermind team. And if you read Think and Grow Rich and you read some of the books, it's powerful to get a team of people who are not haters, but people who are celebrating your success and helping you to think and see where you can't see and think. When you get 1 or 2 great minds together, you create a third mind. And that's exactly what you did, didn't you?
Absolutely. People now want to be in fashion, but I'm a straight guy. I'm in the fashion business, and there's a lot of guys who are gay in the fashion business that we work with, and, great people. I have nothing against them. But you have to think, coming up from a rough city, inner city hood, when I was out there making the fashion and it wasn't done where people were making money off of it and it wasn't cool, we were harassed. So the 3 guys that came to me, they said, I believe in what you're doing, and you know what? I know we're not doing this for – they didn't do it for money because this wasn't done before. I mean, Cross Colors had blown up to $100 million, and then they kind of went away. But they were like, we love to see other people getting joy out of wearing these clothes. We love doing what you're doing as part of a lifestyle. We love it. They joined, and other people, the cool guys, would laugh at all of us.
But they're not laughing anymore because now FUBU has become a $500 billion or $500 million brand. It's outrageous, whatever. And plus, they're not laughing anymore because you took that and created an industry and a cottage industry that has been massively successful. We're going to talk more with Daymond John when we come back about how you too, folks, can live your dreams and live the best life possible. This is Willie Jolly across America. For sure, the best is yet to come.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolly, and if you're enjoying this information you're hearing on this podcast, I want to invite you to get even more great information on my new free gift page on my website. Go to wjspeaks.com and hit the All Access badge. On that page, you will find information and resources specifically designed to help you to have greater success. Free ebooks, music, all sorts of interesting and informational interviews for my XM show. I'm telling you, this is a great page. And why do I do it? Because I've learned that the more we give, the more we get. And the more we help other people to grow and go to the next level, the more we receive in our business. So we want to help you. Tell your friends about it. Go to Facebook and get my information. Go to my website, get my free resources, and get on wjspeaks.com and hit that All Access badge. It looks like a backstage pass. Click it. You'll get behind the scenes information to the special page to help you grow. All we want in return, all we ask is that you pass it on, because the more you give, the more you get. This is Dr. Willie Jolly. Have a great day.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the T to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
It's about your attitude. 1 8-letter word that has such a big impact on your success or your failure. Attitude. Not just about a disposition, but also about how you see the world, how you see life. Do you see it from a negative perspective, or do you see it from a positive perspective? It's your choice. It's about your attitude. See, my friend Keith Harrell wrote a book called Attitude is Everything, and he wasn't lying. Attitude truly is everything. It's about how you view things, how you perceive things, and how you go after things. Can you control the time? No. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what other people say or do? No.
You can only control you and your attitude. And your attitude to life determines your altitude in life. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude.
Isn't that the truth? It's all about your attitude. If you think you can or think you can't, you're right. It's about your attitude. So I'm encouraging you to work on your attitude. Make a commitment to read or listen to positive things. Read Think and Grow Rich. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I got two real great books here today I want to promote. One is by Daymond John, our guest today. It's The Brand Within. And one is by Willie Jolly called Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks. Either one of those that will get in on your thinking will help you grow. Well, Daymond is my guest today, and I'm grateful that he was able to make it on his schedule, because this guy is busier than a bee. Not only is he on ABC's Shark Tank, and this is a hit show that has just blown up about helping people to find out when their entrepreneurial zest and spirit becomes a part of them, can they have the product to make it work. And he is one of the panelists. It's incredible. You got to watch it. He'll tell you where and when to watch it. Plus, he is still with FUBU, and I believe Gucci sweaters, they took over that brand, and they've got other brands that they're building. He speaks and consults with major companies about branding, and he speaks as a motivational speaker and expert to conferences and organizations around the world. So I'm telling you, folks, this guy is about making it happen, and we're grateful that he was able to find time in his schedule to be with us. Daymond, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me again, as always.
It's a joy, man, joy. So look here, man, your story is just so profound. The fact that you started with $100,000, y'all took a mortgage on your mom's house, and y'all took out the furniture, and you brought in sewing machines, and you started this factory, and then you went to the magic show in Vegas. That's a great story. And how, initially you couldn't even afford a booth.
No, we couldn't afford a booth. What we did was, we sent pictures of all these people and and these videos we had, because we would sit on the videos. For 2 years we would have 10 shirts, and these 10 shirts we would just take and put on a wrapper in a video, because as I said, we knew LL and Run DMC, so we'd get to go and sit on the video sets, and we would keep putting these shirts on, these 10 shirts. In 2 years, the same shirts we ended up having on 20, 30 videos, because we'd put it on the wrapper and we would take it back from them, or put it on the dancer and take it back from them. And these 2 shirts became to what the nation thought was this huge company, but it was only 10 shirts we had.
Wow.
So, we sent those videos out to all the stores, and we said, well, we're going to be at the Magic Show, and that's a show in, it's not really a magic show. It's called the Men's Apparel Guild in California. It's actually held in Las Vegas, and this is where all the big retailers would come and write their orders for the stuff they want from you. We didn't even have enough money to get a booth, so we stayed about 5 miles away in the Mirage Hotel in this little room, about 6 guys. And after the guy at Macy's who buys all the product, after he walks a big trade show from 8 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, the last thing he wants to do is go to a hotel room of guys he doesn't know 5 miles away and place orders on product that he's never had before.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
But believe it or not, we wrote $300,000 worth of orders.
Wow.
And at that point, we knew we had something. So when we came back to New York, we had to start making these goods, and that's when I obviously took the house and turned it into a factory, and I still was running out of money because I didn't have any financial intelligence. And when you just said read Rich Dad Poor Dad, very, very important, because financial intelligence, you can work doing anything you want, but I always say the only thing more expensive than an education is ignorance. And that learning curve is what I usually see is the most detrimental aspect to companies who never make it, because they spend $300, $400, $500, they mortgage the house, and all of a sudden they can never get out of that debt of the initial learning curve instead of educating themselves.
And that's powerful, folks. This is entrepreneur at its core, that you've got to grow you if you want to be a success. You've got to make that commitment to invest in yourself, read the books, listen to the tapes, go to seminars, because many people have the dream to be rich, but they don't want to do what it takes to get wealth. Am I right about it, Daymond?
Yeah, absolutely correct, because they think money solves a problem. Money almost never solves a problem. You can throw money at something, and it's going to just go away. It's knowledge. So if you can't go to school and you don't have enough money for that, and you don't know what books to look up, then you go intern someplace for 2-3 years, because you would have normally paid $30,000 a session in school. if you're not paying anything, but you're going to intern and you're learning the everyday aspect of the business, you're at least educating yourself. And then you start off small, you keep growing, and then the money will come because you'll know how to take out the proper loan, get the proper strategic partner, barter on things, get the factory to hold the paper, hold the financing.
Now, these are things you didn't learn in school, did you? You learned
Not at all.
You learned them from reading, from listening, from talking, and from going through the process. Am I right?
I'm still learning. Even when I'm on the show.
I love it. That's it. That's it, folks. Y'all just heard the biggest, most powerful thing you can hear from an entrepreneur who's a massive success, who's a millionaire, who's built $1 million businesses. He said, "I'm still learning." Folks, that's the secret. That's the secret, folks. That's the secret to success. If you ever read books like Think and Grow Rich, at the beginning of the book, it says, we're going to drop the secrets throughout the book. You have to be wise enough to figure it out. And here's what he just told you. He's still learning. He's a success. You're learning. It's a process to constantly grow your best. So you went to the magic show. You're still learning. You're learning about all of these different things. You came back and got these $300,000 of orders, and then you start building this company. And over the years, you've built a massively successful clothing firm. But you didn't stop there, did you?
No, not at all. Once we started building the firm, as I understood, and I kept studying and understanding the wave and the roller coaster of the fashion world, everybody says, well, Ralph Lauren has lasted and Polo has lasted forever at the top. Okay, well, maybe that's the Michael Jordan of the business, but 99.9% of the companies are hot 3 to 5 years at best.
Right.
So we had to start leveraging our portfolio, and we had to start, as we saw FUBU starting to decline, we went and got other brands that complemented our workforce and our production. So we would go and get a skateboarder brand called Drunken Monkey. We would go and get a Latino influenced brand called Willie Esco, and go get a popular culture brand called Heatherette. And then we saw that the brand that Bill Cosby and Biggie Smalls used to wear, Coogee, was distressed and up for sale, and we went and bought that brand and reinterpreted and made that brand the new hip brand in the streets. And that's the number one brand we have today in the United States, and FUBU is huge in Asia and Europe now.
Wow. Now, I have a Coogee sweater, and I love it. I mean, the multiple
Absolutely.
colors. I've got a couple of them, in fact. And, folks, that shows you that we've got some young entrepreneurs who saw an opportunity and said, okay, that's distress. There's an opportunity there. Now, what happened if they say, oh, well, we might lose our money. Oh, woe is me. That's where the entrepreneur comes in. Entrepreneur is taking a risk. Let me ask you this. You take risk. How do you make the decision whether you're going to take a risk? What kind of thinking does it take? What kind of processes in your mind say, hey, you know what, this is a risk? And the upside better than the downside? If I win, what happens? And if I lose, what happens? What's your process?
Well, the first process is always, as I just said, educating yourself with why are we taking this risk and how is it a benefit? Is this, some people do these things as entrepreneurs or something else because of their ego or their love for money. And neither one of those will ever benefit you if you're doing that for that. So if you want to be called the man, or you want to, or the woman, and you want to boss people around, first of all, you're going to be the first person in the office and the last person to leave. And sometimes you're not going to be the one to make a profit because you have to pay all back to your salary, all back to your staff, because you don't want them to leave because money's slow at the moment. So if it's for ego, get that out of the way, right?
Yep.
If it's for money, I've learned, and I'm always the guy with all the paraphrases, money is a great, great servant, but a horrible master. And anybody I've ever seen do anything for money, they have not succeeded, or when they've done it for money, money was short-lived, and it came in your hand and out the other.
Right.
So if either one of those are never a reason why we're going to take another risk. So we educate ourselves on how this is beneficial to us. Then we stick our tippy toe in it and test it a little bit, keep testing it, and rework the bugs in the system, whatever way it is. Now, a lot of people think, and I've failed way more than I've succeeded. A lot of people think, well, if you're doing the FUBU clothing, you could do FUBU records, you could do FUBU foods, and you could do everything else. No, there are no shortcuts. So either you buy into somebody who has that experience as a strategic partner who's been in that business 10, 12, 50 years, or you start off again with your tippy toe and gain the experience yourself. But there's no just shortcut in just going into the product. So you have to find out what is the natural extension of your brand, and who can you work with to help and secure that all these ideas you have are going to be worth it for your company. And then after that, you have a 50% chance of maybe making it.
Wow. Folks, you're listening to Daymond John's Shark Tank. We're going to talk when he comes back about Shark Tank, how he got on that. But there's one thing I want to make sure you heard. He said he fails. We're going to talk about the fact that failure is part of success. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Willie Jolly Show on Sirius XM. Our first week on Sirius as well as XM. I'm excited. Stay tuned. We got more to come. The best is yet to come.
Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart won't.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolly, and for years I've told people that in order to have a greater life, it starts by having greater individual days. If you have a great day and you repeat that great day 7 times, you've had a great week. And you repeat that week 4 times, you've had a greater month. And then repeat that month 12 times, you've had a greater year, and you're on your way to a greater life. And it starts with that individual day. I recommend you start each day with something powerful. I call it the pure, the powerful, and the positive. Rather than starting your day with bad news, how many people got killed, or how many children got snatched, or how many fires there were, I recommend you start your day with something to inspire and empower and encourage you to make this day a great day. We're excited to announce the start of Jolly TV on my Facebook page. Go to Willie Jolly, Willie.Jolly on Facebook. Just go to Willie.Jolly on Facebook and get ready for a great day and a great life. Have a great day on purpose.
Live life to the fullest. Give it your best shot. You might as well sing like you don't need the money. Love like you'll never get hurt. Dance like nobody's watching. Put your whole heart in it if you want it to work. I hope you dance. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but never lose that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. And God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice, sit it out or dance. I hope you 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 dance.
Oh, I hope you dance. I hope you give life a shot. Give it a shot. I hope you dance. If you don't dance, well, dance anyway. I hope you sing, even if you can't hold a tune. Sing anyway. I hope you try. In other words, I want you to give life a shot. Give it a go. Go with your dreams and goals. Set some big, outrageous goals to try. Because, see, most people die with their music in them. They stand in a river of water and die of thirst. We've got a gentleman on the line today who is one of those who gives life a shot, gives it a chance. He doesn't let his dreams die. Like the old philosopher said that many people die with their dreams around them, like bulging eyes and ghoulish voices saying, where are the dreams that could have been brought to life if you had just had enough courage, enough faith to give us a shot? We would have created a life that would have made you wealthy, but also would have made you fulfilled. But your fear kept you from trying. My guest today is Daymond John. He is a man who makes incredible things happen. Entrepreneur's entrepreneur. And he said some things in the last segment that I just think are profound. He said one of the things he said was that failure is part of this process. You failed a couple times, haven't you, Daymond?
Nah, I think I'm failing now in a couple of places, but it's all good.
That's how you grow, isn't it?
That's absolutely. You know what road not to go down after that.
We learn from our failures, and that is why he's been able to create successful company FUBU and as well as Coogee and buying Coogee and books. Let me talk about his books real quick. He has 2 books, and I want you to go get these books. One is called the book is called The Brand Within. And the other one is Display of Power.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do? Well, here's what I'm going to do. For your listeners, I'm going to give the Display of Power digitally. I'll give it to you guys free. To your guys, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so we can link it to you, or they can just text Shark Tank, one word, Shark Tank, to 90210, and they'll get that one free.
Wow. It's just Shark Tank to 90210. You get it free. And 90210, hit Shark Tank, and he'll give it to you free. Now, you can't beat that, folks. This is what we talk about with our guests. We give you the best guests, the brightest, the best and the brightest, and they give you good stuff. And so we get that. Now, that's called he'll give that one. The other one is called The Brand Within. And we want you to go and get that one and buy it and read it and learn from it. Now, you have a website, too, don't you, Daymond, for folks to go and read up on you and all you're doing?
Sure. You can hit me. My website is Daymond John. So my name is spelled Daymond as in Raymond with a D. Daymond John @.com.
All right. Now, let's talk about the show, Shark Tank, because what you do in the show is help entrepreneurs to flush out their dreams and see if a investor would be moved by their concept. Am I right?
Right. Absolutely. So the show, basically, the premise on the show is that it's myself and 4 other individuals, wealthy or successful individuals. One of them, our guest last night, was Mark Cuban, the one who owns the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
The billionaire. So, people come on in, they have either their inventions or they actually have businesses that are currently running, doing $1 million, $2 million, $5 million businesses. And, they've basically gotten to the tipping point where they feel they need an infusion of cash or a strategic partner. Right? So now here's the premise of the show. You come up to us and you basically say, listen, you know what? I need $500,000 and I'm willing to give up 25% of my business. Now, this is our own money that we're coming out of our pocket with. So we may want to bargain with you. Now, you once you say $500,000, you either have to have $500,000 or over. We can't offer you $200,000. So the only thing you have to bargain with now is the equity in your business. We may say, you know what, you offered me 20% or whatever the case is for $500,000, but I want 50% or I want 90% or I want the entire business or the entire patent. I want you to walk away from it.
Wow.
And that happens, unfortunately, when a person has maybe a great idea, a patent, and they may be too close to the business.
And you know that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. There are people who have ingenious ideas, but they're too close to the business, and the business may not make a profit in the current way that they're operating it. And that happened about 4 episodes ago. The guy had a great patent, and one of the sharks offered him $4 million, and
wow.
he turned it down.
Wow. Okay.
Turned it down.
Well, we look at many people when Mark Zuckerberg was growing Facebook. Someone offered him, I think, an incredible amount of money, and he turned it down, and it turned out to be a good deal for him.
Listen, everybody, that becomes when you're the boss. At that point, you have to make the decision. A guy last season, we offered $2 million, and this is why. The guy had a seatbelt patent that if you take the seatbelt off, the car disables itself because he wanted to save lives for kids. So, but the issue is that he wanted to make sure he put every one of them in his little garage in Las Vegas. You know what we're thinking? No. We want General Motors to put them in all cars.
Right.
His mentality, I guess he got burned in some places. He thought, no, you're going to pay me $1.5 million or $2 million, and you're going to take the patent, you're going to lock it away for nobody to hold it. And we couldn't grasp that concept of why he thought that.
Wow. Isn't that interesting how people have sometimes, they have genius ideas but limited thinking on how to maximize and exploit that idea, and realize that this is an idea that needs to be sold and you sometimes have to walk away or just get a smaller piece of it so that you can make a lot more money in the long run.
Absolutely. I took a very small piece considering in FUBU, once I got with a large distribution, but by the time you're done with it, it's millions and potentially billions of dollars because no matter what, whether you take in all the money yourself and have to pay out for the financing and the warehouse and the trucking and everything else, it still leaves you with a certain amount. So sometimes you want all that headache to go away so that you can do the creative, the distribution, the designing, the negotiation. You can do what you're strong at while somebody else does what they're strong at.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, when is the Shark Tank air again?
All right, so the Shark Tank airs, and our biggest episode is this coming up next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC.
Okay, next Friday. So, folks, y'all check it out. So, Daymond has created these opportunities. So, what do you tell people who's trying to start a business? Give us some of the tips and some of the strategies you might give to. Let's say you talk to a college class of entrepreneurs, and you had to give them some tips on starting and growing a business. What would be some of the things you would share?
Well, obviously, I tell them to start a business that they have to do something they love, as I had said earlier, because, doing it for that, you may not always receive wealth, but you will receive fulfillment. The next thing I say is educate yourself and find something that solves a problem. Does it enrich people's lives? Does it solve any other kind of issue and or problem that people need it? Try to find something like that they need it. And then again, you have to educate yourself. And those are the three things that I always say. And don't try to solve the entire world at one time. Start off one step at a time as the process grows. And then when you get to a certain level where you know that you need some help, understand where that level is going to be, that trigger point where you're going to need investment, raising capital, mortgaging your home, strategic partners, and anything of that nature.
Oh, and a lot of people have that place, and they're not sure which way to go. Should they go to a bank? Should they go to an angel investor? Should they go to maybe mortgaging or something like that? How do you make the determination?
Well, that's the each individual business. I think that if it doesn't cost you anything, try all three. Try venture capitalists, try angel investments, take out ads, or try to go and join with strategic partners, and then look at the banks. Because you may go and try to get to a bank, and they may say, you know what, we're not going to give you the loan, so then you got to scratch that off. You go to the angel investors, they may say, we want too much. Mm-hmm. So then you go to look for a strategic partner, and you look at how that will complement their portfolio. So a lot of people come to me for clothing companies. Mm-hmm. The people who are not thinking, don't come to me with another urban clothing company because I would be cannibalizing my money if I go and do 2 and 3 urban companies. But if you come to me and you hit a different market and it's apparel, then it's attractive to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My goodness. Folks, you're listening to Daymond John, who is the founder of FUBU and now the owner of Coogee Sweaters, and it's on the Shark Tank next Friday night. We're going to come right back. I want you to get his book, though. And also he's going to give you the book free if you would just text Shark Tank at 90210. Shark Tank at 90210.
And Shark Tank is one word.
Shark Tank, one word, and 90210, and he'll give you the first book free. So you can't beat that. But y'all stay tuned. We've got a few more ideas in this last segment about how you can grow your wealth and grow your entrepreneurism and grow your future. Because I truly believe, as Daymond does, that your best is yet to come. Stay tuned. Your best is yet to come. God bless.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolly, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech, and I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. time worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
It's gonna fall, and everybody's house sometime. Trouble will come, but when trouble stops by, you can sit there and cry, or you can make up your mind. You're gonna stand up and fight. Hey, people, listen closely to the sound of my voice. Success in life is never due to chance, but to choice. You choose to go on, to go through the storm, or you choose to give up, give in, and go in the time. Oh no, up to you. It's up to you. Whether you win or lose, if you want to reach the top, you must believe deep in your heart. Give it your all, everything you got, and never, ever, ever stop. Keep kicking.
Oh, you got to keep kicking. You got to keep trying. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep striving. You got to keep going after your dream. That song is taken from my Money Making Music and Motivation product, and I am excited for all of you who are first timers here on Sirius. You can go to my website and get a sample of that right now. Go to williejolly.com. Check out the free music, and you can get some of my music. I'm grateful that one of the top-selling music product, this whole Money Making Music on iTunes. You can get it on my website, or you can get it on iTunes. You can get it on Napster. You can get it a lot of places. Music that will inspire you, and as Black Enterprise Magazine said, music that makes you not just want to shake it, but help you to make it. So get some of that music, and it'll help you. Also, if you're in the D.C. area, you can see me on the CBS television station here, WUSA Channel 9, every morning at 6:39 a.m. with Live Better with Willie Jolly segment, brought to you by McDonald's, as well as in WLTX in Columbia, South Carolina. And you'll be seeing it in multiple markets coming up soon. And for those in Detroit, this week I'll be at the Minority Supply Diversity Council conference for Michigan at the Cobo Center on Thursday for the keynote for the luncheon. So come and join me and come get some books, and I'll be there signing them. So come and say hello. My guest today, I'm so grateful. You know, I tell you, I'm grateful for friends and people in my network, and this is a new friend who I'm grateful for. He is a make it happen guy, and for those who are joining us late and you didn't get who it is, it's Daymond John, the founder of FUBU, the host of Shark Tank, and he's created a whole new brand of stuff for Shark Tank. He's the speaker. He's an author. He's a consultant. He helps companies. If you have a company, you need help in growing your brand. We're going to talk a little more about brands in a few minutes. He's also an entrepreneur's entrepreneur, helping you to grow your thinking. And that's what I love. He grows thinking. And he has a desire to help people in the community, which, you know, Each One Reach One is the name of FUBU's acronym, but he also is about Each One Teach One, that we got to teach each other how to become wealthy, how to grow our success. So, Daymond, thank you, buddy, for being on with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And for those who joined us late, if you want to get a copy of his book given to you free, he got two books. One is called The Brand Within, and the other one is called Display of Power. To get Display of Power, all you got to do is text Shark Tank, one word, to 90210, and you'll get that book free. What a great deal. Now, Daymond, real quick, there are two things I want to talk about in this segment before we end this interview, which has been fantastic. I have to have you on again, but is the fact that this has been a tough economic time.
Absolutely.
And it's been challenging for entrepreneurs to survive or to thrive or make it through. What do you tell people through the tough times? How do you do it? What's the strategies, secrets, the success tips you can tell people how to get through the tough economic times?
Wow. I mean, you know what? That's a very hard question. It's challenging. You know, we all face it. You know, I always tell people you have to operate on the smallest nut. Whatever the smallest nut you have is, you have to try to cut that in half, no matter what it is, because this is the time when most wealth is made.
Right.
You have to take the biggest chances that you can right now, too. And I know that is very challenging when I just said cut back but take the biggest chances. But this is when all the opportunities will present themselves, from great deals out in the market, times when entrepreneurs who are forced into the fact that they had a job but now they don't have one, so they either feed their family by getting another job or create their job for themselves. You know, and that's it's really a challenging time. You have to open up your mind, because even in my business of fashion, it's suffering horribly at this moment. You know, so I can't give much besides it's going to get better, and you got to take advantage of the time now.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, folks, he hit it right on the head. You've got to take chances now. You got to look for opportunities now, and don't let your fears overcome your possibilities. In my book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks, I said, don't let your pride and your fear poison your prosperity. And so now is the time when I want people to get a mindset, okay, this is a challenging time. But I think that was wise of what you said. I had to, we're promoting our new book, Attitude of Excellence, and I had to get that in our new publishing company, and I needed every penny I could to get a bunch of books printed. And I had some legal things that I needed to get done and trademarked and so forth. And I called my legal guy and said, hey, look, man, here's the deal. I'm trying to buy these books. You got to me quicker than I anticipated. What can I work out to give you some now? He said, man, all you had to do, Willie, is do what you're doing. Call me. Just call me so I would know what the deal is. You good, because you always pay. But, you know, people just want you to give them a call, explain what's going on, give them a logical reason, and then man up and do what you got to do. Maybe you got to get that second job. Maybe you got to.
You know what? You know what? Well, I think one of the biggest things that you and I haven't talked about, seeing we're big fans of Think and Grow Rich, and it applies to all this.
Yes.
You got to be a person who sets goals.
Absolutely.
And small goals, mile markers, and it would have made you call that guy, because if you would have kept reading that goal every night, every morning, how you were going to get this publishing done, you would have tried. That goal would have mesmerized and trained your mind to do everything possible. And calling that guy would have been on the list anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, he just dropped a pearl. He dropped a pearl, another pearl. Set big goals and read the goals daily. Set big goals, read the goals daily, and then get a list that emanates from those goals. And once you do that, there'll be things you got to do. Call a lawyer, talk to him, call the bank, call the publisher, say, can I get a line of credit? Call somebody and say, hey, look, can I pay you now, this now, and that now? Let me sell some of them, or pre-selling. You'll start thinking of ideas when you set very clear goals. And that is why Daymond John is a success, because he understands the power of goals. And, you know, Daymond, I know you know, and you've talked to groups as well as I, who they know they're supposed to do it. They know we say do it. They've heard it said, but they won't do it.
Because listen, you know the deal. They're afraid of doing it because they're afraid of the reality, because once you get what you have always wanted, you actually have something to lose. And they a lot of times don't want to do it, but I keep telling them, you cannot hit a target that you cannot see. And, you know, usually, sooner or later, they'll get around to doing it. And I really feel bad. As you said, I've never heard never heard the story of the people who are dead, and, you know, their dreams and their ambitions are around them with the bubble eyes, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people who end up like that, and it's very sad.
Absolutely. A lot of people go to their death with their dreams inside of them, unable to really maximize their potential because they were afraid. And fear will stop you. So that is why entrepreneurs make a decision to live their dreams. It's a choice. Success is not a chance, is it, Daymond?
Not at all.
It's not a chance. It's a choice. You choose to be successful.
You do. Because you know what? A lot of times I have seen those people who've died who said, I didn't really accomplish what I wanted. But you know what? Instead of getting the cheese at the end of the maze, it's usually running the maze that's the exciting part. Absolutely. And at least I ran that maze, and I can't say anybody ever took that from me.
That's absolutely right. And you have no regrets when it's all over. Now, one of the things that I found, I had a lady at my speaker boot camp last week. We did a speaker boot camp. And she said the reason she was speaking, because her dad, she was going to visit her dad. She told the story. The phone rang. It was her dad's phone. She didn't answer. So I'm on my way over there. I'll be over there in a few. I missed the phone call. I'll be there in about an hour because I'm going to Thanksgiving dinner there today. About 10 minutes later, her sister's calling frantically. She said, Dad died last night. What? And she went to the house, looked at her dad, who was 53 years old, and said, and she looked at them, put him in a body bag, said, you know what? Did he ever live his dreams? She said, from that day on, she said, I made my decision. I was not going to die with my dreams inside of me. And that's why she started speaking, and she was doing well with her business. And so I say that to say to folks, Daymond is somebody who decided to live his dreams and just kept going after it, even with failures, even with challenges, even with difficulties, even with people not giving him any love, any respect. He still did it. And that's what I love about this story. American entrepreneur. Now, real quick, couple minutes left. On a Shark Tank, you look at people who give you a pitch. And let me ask you this, important. What's the most important question entrepreneurs should be ready to ask about their business that they often don't ask? What they should ask us?
2 minutes.
Yes.
Or what we should ask them?
What is it that they should be concerned about with their business that they often aren't concerned about? And when they come to the Shark Tank?
They usually aren't concerned about the method on how they're going to make the business scalable.
Powerful point. Powerful point.
They usually just say, well, I'm doing this and I'm going this and that. But what's the final, again, what's the goal? What's the final step? Where are you going to go? Are you going to keep going at this pace? Where are you going to go and how will you get there? What's the direction, the blueprint, the goal?
Wow. Folks, and let me say, because some of you might not know what scalable means. That means if you sell one piece for this, maybe if you could get somebody to help, you could do 100 pieces for a little less, and you make a little bit more over time. Man, I got so much to ask you, but we're going to have you back, brother.
All right.
Daymond John, thank you, man, for being on the premier show where Willie Jolly moves to Sirius XM.
Congratulations, Willie. I've been a fan for a minute, so congratulations.
Thank you, man.
We need more people like you out there to give us the details on how to get it.
Man, well, I appreciate you, man. God bless you, and we're going to get these books moving, and thank you, and I'm going to be back in touch with you soon. Thank you, Daymond.
Bye.
God bless. Wow, folks. Well, for all those who joined us for the first time, love you. Go to williejolly.com, get my interview with Bob Johnson. Just sign up for the newsletter. Let me know what you think of the show, too. Send me a note. Thank you, Steve Robinson. I love you, brother. And see y'all all soon. If you're in Detroit, see you this week. And stay tuned, because we got more to come and more times next week with new stuff. This is Willie Jolly. For sure, the best is yet to come.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others?
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.